Okay, so the first thing I want to draw your attention to is what's on the calendar here. Measures of central tendency. That's what we're doing today. Those are the fancy words. It means mean, median, and mode. Okay? Measures of central tendency. Makes it sound way more complicated than it is. What you just folded and cut, this is literally a 4th grade lesson. Okay? And I don't say that to sometimes we have to dial it back, right? What I'm saying is this should be easy, but we got to make sure we don't mess it up, right? And there are also some unique situations that happen with this, even when you do totally understand it, that you might question whether or not, what am I supposed to do with this, that sort of thing. So we are, we're here. So when it's closed, yours looks like this, right? I'm not going to keep flipping back and forth, but basically if you open your first little door, which says mean, I'll write it out here, mean, so this is the outside of yours. Mean just means average, okay? We know how to average things, right? You add them up, you divide by how many you have. You don't have to start by putting them in any particular order. So here's your data set. If we added all those up, we get 100. There's 5 numbers, so 100 divided by 5 is what? 20. So the mean is 20. Put a 20 in there. You're not going to have to write very much on this, just a little tiny bit. It's just as a quick review and something that you can refer back to if you need to. All right, so the next little door says median. So open the median door. Median is middle. Think of the median in the road. It is in the middle of the road. It is what, separates the sides of the traffic going in opposite directions. In this case, we do want to put that in order. So we take our data set, we put it in order from least to greatest, and then you start with the outside numbers and count inwards. So you can kind of cross them out, cross them out, cross them out. Here's your middle number. That works perfectly if we have an odd number of numbers, which we do here. What if we start crossing them out and we're left with 2 in the middle? What do? Add and divide by 2. You take the average of the 2 if that happens. Yes. All right, we're good with that. We understand median. Median is the middle. And we're going to sing a song here in just a minute to make sure we keep all this stuff straight. Then mode. Mode means most. The number that occurs most frequently in the set of data. So this little example says create a line plot. Do you have to create a line plot? No. But I left that on here because it's probably important that we know what a line plot is in case that pops up anywhere, because it's not something you use a ton. So when I do the line plot, I have my numbers, not necessarily how many they are, or it's not just this data, but these are all the ones that show up in there at some point. So I look at 10, I only have one 10, so I'm gonna put one little X above 10. Or I could put a circle or a dot or whatever, or it's kind of like making hash marks on things. When I look at 13, I only have one 13, so it's gonna have one little X. 17, I just have one of them. 20, I have 2 of them, so I'm going to put 2 little X's. 22, there's just one of them. And 28, there's one of them. So that's basically what a line plot looks like. Again, kind of like making hash marks, just making however many you have. And then the numbers with the tallest line plot is the mode. And that's 20. Okay. So again, do you have to make the line plot? No, but you do need to know what a line plot is. Okay, we good on that? So mean, median, mode. And then we have the range. Okay. The range, that is the difference between the highest and the lowest. So it might be helpful to have them in order from least to greatest so that you can find the least and the greatest, but you don't have to. So our smallest number is 10. Our largest number is 28. So that's just 28 minus 10. That gives you 18. That's the range. Okay. Everybody good with that? All right. So then the last one, which maybe was not in the 4th grade lesson, and honestly, I don't know if you talk about it in 4th grade, never taught 4th grade, but still something we need to know that goes with this, and that is the outlier. Okay. Outliers are extreme values that differ greatly from most of the other data points. Okay. One that kind of looks like one of these things is not like the other, right? So if we take this, it does help to have them in numerical order. and we scan for extreme values. Well, 10, 30, like all that seems like, okay, no big deal. But then 74 kind of seems pretty far out there, right? So I would say that 74 is the outlier in this data set. Okay. And when you're using data one thing about statistics is that you can say a lot of different things. And I can, if I had a company and I wanted to impress somebody with my salaries, right? And so let's say that like these are all somehow represent the salaries of the workers, but then I'm the owner of the company, so this is mine. I'm making way more than everybody else, right? So if I found the average of this, then I'm using this outlier, that would help skew the numbers higher, which would make my company look better, right? And then, but then if I wanted to give a raise, which is how we always get our raises anyway, if they say you're going to get a 2% raise or a 3% raise, it's not 3% of my salary. It's always 3% of the median salary. So the median salary here is going to be 20. So even the guy that's making the 28 or the 10, right? You know, it helps you on either end. But this guy is not getting 3% of his salary. He's getting whatever 3% of the 20 is. But the boss doesn't want to give you 3% on the average because that's going to be skewed higher when you have the higher salaries in there. So, you know, you can play around with data. So you want to be careful when you're reading things. Sometimes things sound better than they are. Okay, does that make sense? We're good on that? Okay, so now I'm going to play a little song for you, and it's going to play a few times and it's going to get faster. And then after the second or third time that it goes through, I expect you to be singing with it. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected. And then I can play this song all day long until everybody sings. So it's up to you. Okay. How much we have to listen to this nonsense. But it does go to the tone of hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon. The little girl laughed to see such a sight, and the dish ran away with the spoon. And it makes absolutely no sense, but that's what nursery rhymes are. They make no sense. All right. So here we go. Hey, diddle, the me is the middle. He added divide for the me. Mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference between. Oh! The words are on the screen. The median's the middle. Okay. He added divide for the me. Mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference. Okay. Next time up, everybody singing. Ready? I better see you singing. Hey, diddle. The median's the middle. He added divide for the me. Mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference between. Danny. Gael. Hey, diddle, diddle. Median's the middle. He added divide for the me. Mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference between. Last time. Sing it. Hey, diddle, diddle. Median's the middle. He added divide for the me. Mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference between. Okay. So think about that when you're not sure. Hey, diddle, diddle. The median's the middle. You add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference between, right? Okay. So we all got that now, right? We're all experts? Yes, sure. Okay. Here's what I want you to do at your table. At your table, I want you to find the mean, median, mode, and range of the ages of the people at your table. Should be pretty simple because your ages shouldn't be that far apart. So make it happen. What are y'all's ages here? 17. What are y'all? All 17? Okay. You're all 17 also? That's funny. It's fun of you. Okay. What are our ages here? Y'all are all 17 also? That's funny. Okay. What are our ages here? We have 118? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Natalie. All right. What are we over here? 116? Oh, I have 6. Oh, 317 is 118. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to just go ahead and put these in order. I'm going to take that out and then put 317s and then 18 and 18. Okay. All right. So that means group 1. What's the mean? What's the median? What's the mode? 17. What's the range? 0. Okay. Because 17 by 17 is 0. Y'all were all 17, right? Okay. So that's the same thing. I knew this was going to be something like this. I did expect maybe, I didn't look up everybody's grade. Y'all were all 17 also, right? So, okay. Y'all were all 17. Okay. And then, yeah, so what was y'all's mean? These two tables. Did y'all not even find it? You had one job to do. This was not hard. And you have calculators. It can't be 16 point something. 0.25? Y'all's have to be the same because you got the same amount of people, right? What's the median? What's the median going to be? 17. What's the mode going to be? 17. What's the range? 1. Okay. All right. So if you're all the same age, your mean, median, mode is all exactly the same. And your range is 0. No big deal, right? So now this is, let me see how many people are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so we have 21 17s and we have 2 18s. So if let's find the mean of the whole group. Okay, so somebody with a calculator, actually a couple peoples with a calculator. 399, 393, and then divide that by 23. What are you gonna get? Okay, 17, but what decimals? Give me a couple. 0.869. Okay. Does it make sense that this is a lot smaller than this? Because we have a lot more 17s in there, right? What would our median be in this data? 17. What's the mode? 17. So even if you have a couple salaries that are not that much more than the rest, you still probably want to use the median if you're the boss, right? You want to use the median to give the raises. You want to use the mean to tout your company. And then our range here is what? 1. Okay, would you consider 18 an outlier? No, because it's not drastically more, right? This is where the outlier comes from when I put in my age, which is 50. So if we take that 393, so do 393 plus 50 for me, and then divide by 24. 18.45. So like I'm really the CEO, right? And I'm really the one making the big bucks here. Y'all are not getting paid at all. So that looks good. If like, hey, look how much more, everybody makes. But then is our median still 17? Yep. Is our mode still 17? Yep. What's the range? 33. Okay. Would you consider 50 an outlier? Yes, 100%. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna play a different song for you, reminding you that this is like an elementary school lesson, and so these kids are there's a couple kids that like show up in it, and I guess it was a little project for their teacher or something, and then we're gonna do an activity with this. Now I'm on to get A's. D and little mo is mo. Range is the difference of the high and low. Mean is just another way of averaging. I'm gonna get A's. The first thing you do when you get the number set, you order least the greatest before you forget. It'll make through in your mouth so easy. To find the mean, the first thing that must be done is you add up all the numbers and calculate the sum and divide it by its quantity. Yes, I'll solve it. I'll solve it. I'll solve it 'cause I can. Today I learned immediate mode. You hear them singing in the background. Their teacher was going, sing. All right. Ooh. Unless there's an even amount in the set, after middle numbers, then you finally get an answer that will be your median. Subtract low from the high and you'll have the range. They are learning median, mode, and range. Now I'm going to get A's. D and little mo is most. Range is the difference of the high and low. Mean is just another way of averaging. I'm gonna get A's. These poor kids. That's funny. So y'all catch the dab in there? Was dabbing a thing when you were in elementary school? Do you remember what grade you were in when everybody was dabbing? Probably all the boys. 4th grade? See, these kids are probably seniors in high school now. Y'all could have been y'all. Could have been you. You could have been YouTube famous for a silly song. But mean, median, and mode. Hopefully after we do this, I'm not going to give you an assignment or anything, but we're going to do an activity that you can remember it and not get it mixed up. But having silly songs about anything you're trying to remember helps. And the goofier it is, the more you actually remember it, right? Like, I promise you, next time y'all need a new mean, median, and mode, somebody's gonna in their head's gonna be like, hey diddle diddle, the median's the middle, right? You're gonna sing it to yourself. You do what you gotta do. All right, so I'm going to give you little cards that look like this, okay? Oh, let me give you the paper first. Hang on. Ooh, what did I do with the papers? All right, so we're going to go through these and talk about them all together. And so one group did A completely, another group did at least some of A. So you can kind of check the other group. Casey, Jen, Kevin, Sheldon, and Cassandra went to the Starling Observatory to observe bats at night. This is how many bats each of them recorded. All right, so what did we get for the mean? Who had this one? 373. Okay, what do we get for the median? 301. Okay. Mode? 3 what? Oh, 275. Sorry. 275, and the range? 245. Okay. All right, so if you... Now this says, why do you think Sheldon saw the most bats? What do we think? Okay, well, those are good. Did y'all come up with anything? Did y'all get that far? Okay, I like that. What else? Anything else? Why do you think Kevin and Cassandra saw the least amount of bats? Anybody? They were scared? Or maybe they were talking to each other and like then they were like, oh crap, we haven't been paying attention. How many did you get? 275? Okay, me too. That's what I'm envisioning as a teacher. All right, good job, guys. All right, so, oops, wait, these back here. All right, Linda, Jeffrey, Jesse, Aspen, and Addison. I think whoever wrote this was a teacher trying to use all the students' names in their class, is what I think, because there's some unique names in here. Headed out on their own in their costumes to go trick-or-treating together. They tracked how many houses they visited and found they each had visited the following. Have you ever, in all your years, visited that many houses on a Halloween night to go trick-or-treating? That's a lot of houses. Like, that's a lot. 119 houses? I don't even know. But most neighborhoods don't even have that much. All right. So who had this one? Who did this one? All right. What did y'all get for the mean? What? 60.4? Oh, 66.4. I'm sorry. Okay. The median? 39. I think I left off a number somewhere. What's the mode? No mode. That's possible. For the mode, there's none. Okay. Who else did this question? Was this y'all? Who else did this one? Yeah. Is that what y'all got? Did y'all get 66.4? What'd you get? It's okay. Would you get 66? No. Got something totally different? Okay, because what I have over here is 66 and 57. So I'm wondering if did y'all leave out a number? And it's okay. Okay. I think y'all left out a number somewhere. And that again, that's okay. But do you see how much that can change what your answers are? What's the range? 80. All right. Then it says to identify the outlier. When we identify the outlier, would you say that's 119? Yes, whether you did this one or not. Find the mean without it. The mean without it is 52.75. So the outlier, you see how the outlier pulled the data towards a bigger number, which is, again, kind of what we've talked about. All right. How long do you think it took them to trick or treat? 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay. What else do y'all think? Anything else? 5 hours. I think it took them 3 days to get 120. Yeah. All right. That's good. All right. C. The spiders. Raymond, Jordan, Gwendolyn, Xavier, Christian, Chancellor, Marianne, and Rafe each had to climb into their attic to get their Halloween decorations. They each encountered spiders as they pulled out their items. Here are how many spiders they saw. All right, so what was the mean here? 5.5. Yep. Okay. The median? 5. Oh. I heard 5 and 6. Okay, so what happened here, since we have an even, well, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How could it be 5? Oh, because you have an even number. Duh. That's when you have an odd number. So the middle two are 4 and 6. Then we had to average them. That's where the 5 came from here. What's the mode? 4 and 6. Good. You can have 2 modes. That is a possibility. So you can have no mode and you can have 2 modes. You can have 3 modes. It depends on what's happening there. And then the range here is what? 8. Okay. And just looking at the data, I mean, that all seems pretty reasonable, right? Even if you didn't do this question. Why do you think Jordan saw the least amount of spiders? Anybody? What'd y'all have? Who all did this one? Sorry. Okay. Anybody else? Good ideas about the spiders? Why they see lots, at least? Maybe they didn't have as much to get down. I don't know. So they weren't in there as long. All right, good deal. All right. Oh, shoot, I keep skipping one. D. All right. So Talia, Anthony, Caden, Shiloh, Marissa, and Grace carved jack-o'-lanterns when they measured the circumference of their pumpkins before they started. They found their pumpkins measured these amounts. Now, whether you did this one or not, I do want to talk about especially the number 2 here. Find the mean, median, and mode. Okay, so what is the mean? 41. Okay, median, 38.5. Mode, 37. And range, 34. Okay. So the second question, even if you didn't do this one, this is why we're talking about this stuff. It says which measure in the question, which measure in question 1, best represents the data and explain your reasoning. Okay, so I made you talk about it. I'm not gonna, you don't have to tell me what you said. But here, I want you to hear some of the reasons why this, and again, it's kind of a matter of opinion, but what this says is the median best represents the data. Let's talk about why. The median, so this is the median number. It best represents the data, and their reasoning is because there are 3 data points that are relatively close to it, and 1 more that's kind of close to it. So it kind of represents the data well. And then also the mode and the range are too low. So the range, I mean, that's really kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense to represent the data anyway. And then the mode, even though it's 37, that's on the low end of the stuff when you put them out. So it doesn't really represent the higher numbers. And the mean may be another acceptable answer, kind of for the same reason that 41 is. Okay. So it has to do with like that specific set of data. It is the mean. What did I say? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, shoot. Yeah, median. Well, kind of the same reason, because they're both, these 3 are really close, and then this one is kind of close. So kind of both of them for the same reason, really. And you could sit there and argue about which one is the most, but the best one. But those 2 are probably better than this one right here for sure. You're right. I said one thing and circled the other. All right. How long, or who do you think carved the winning jack-o'-lantern? Shiloh. Why? She had a bigger pumpkin. Okay. More to work with, right? A little bit easier to work with. All right. And then, all right, we'll skip E. Well, no, we'll do E. We can do these quickly. What? Yeah, keep it. Okay, let's just talk about the 2 here. What would happen to the measures above if Sean found 7 more pieces of candy in his pocket? So, well, the mean here, this is 196, 198, and 175. And then the range is, oh no, that was none, I'm sorry. And the range is 62. If Sean finds 7 more, that changes this to 175, which means I then have a mode of 175. It's also going to skew the other 2 numbers a little bit different, okay? It'll make your mean go a little bit higher. All right, and if y'all did F, it's fine. We just didn't have time to talk about it. There's a 3rd song. I'll make you listen to it tomorrow. So leave the cards on the table. Take the papers with you. Don't ever miss another mean, median, and mode question. And if you'll put the dividers back out for me, please.